is to introduce you to ScpiStudio. What you're currently looking at is SQLite Expert, a manager for SQLite. This particular program utilizes a PrologiX USB to GPIB controller, and also we are programming initial state, which is a cloud storage program. This area of code here is basically a loop that's going to loop 10 times and take 10 measurements each time. This area here is showing you how we communicate via the PrologiX device, and this area here is how we do the 10 measurements, where we init the memory and basically set the DVM set up to measure the DC volts 10 at a time. We do some branching and set up the plot, and this is the area where we shut down the power supply. This is a look at the dashboards for initial state, of which I have subscribed to, and these are the titles for the various dashboards: the events, bar graph, frequent, and AIS UART HP 34401 alpha, which is the test program name. These areas are basically showing you some history prior to us running the test program. Once again, we can edit the tile. We can set up, in this case, we want to look at a pie chart for this particular run, and just take a look around, and you'll see that these areas where the data is plotted, that's the data that's been plotted for approximately a week in the lower left hand corner there. So essentially what you can do is you can go in and take a look at this data in a more exact way. This particular area uses a line graph. There's also various ways you can view the data, either a step line, or you can look at a straight line, in terms of how you want to take a look at the data. And typically you go over to the right hand side of the display, and you're going to open up the previous run, and typically start your program from there, and you can essentially watch the data go into the cloud as in real time as we go forward here. So ScpiStudio utilizes 10 control channels, all of which have programs associated with each particular table. And this is a display that shows you the sequencing of your test program, which comes in handy if you really want to know what's going on. And there we just took 10 measurements, and we're taking 10 more. We're going to do it, like I said, 10 times for 100 readings. And you'll notice down in the lower left hand corner that the data that's being plotted in the cloud looks very similar to what we have in our graphics display on ScpiStudio itself. So, and how we get that data in there basically is every time we take a measurement, we queue that data up, and eventually it finds its way into the cloud. So we're going to run this program twice and just kind of watch the data scroll up into the cloud. And additionally, it also gets stored locally in SQLite tables. We do not use any flat files. Everything is found in a database or in the cloud. So there the program exited. The last thing it gets updated is the lower right hand corner kind of showing you what you're going to find in these. Basically, you're looking at the same data in a different manner. So now we're going to go back and rerun this test program one more time. You'll see kind of a straight line that comes out at the end of this graph. You'll see that's the area that has about looks to be about 1.5 inches straight line where there's no data in there. And now you're seeing again the data that's displayed in the graphical area of ScpiStudio, essentially copied into the cloud and displayed in a similar manner. There is a small amount of discrepancy between their shapes, mainly having to do with time between measurements and how it gets where it gets. But there are ways in the cloud you can take measurements between the points on that graph and get an idea how long it took to do something. Whereas with ScpiStudio we have elapsed time at the end of the test program to give you an overall view of how long it took. So we're coming up on the end of the run, and this is how we exit ScpiStudio. We stop the server from running, and then that brings up an exit button and allows you to exit out of the test program. And now we just go back and take another expanded view of the last data run. And that basically shows you various data points that you can go back and review. And that pretty much does it. Thank you for watching.